that political bombshell announcement out of Wasilla, Alaska. Former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin announced that she will step down as governor with more than a year left in her term. In a statement yesterday, she says she thinks she can do more for Americans outside of government. ABC's David Wright joins us from Washington, D.C. this morning with details. Good morning, David.
Bill, this one has left political veterans all across the country scratching their heads. Sarah Palin has been one of the fastest rising stars in the Republican Party. Now she seems to be walking away, not just from her job, but quite possibly her political future.
As governor, I love my job and I love Alaska. And it hurts to make this choice, but I'm doing what's best for Alaska.
In her backyard, flanked by her family, Sarah Palin abruptly declared her independence by quitting.
Some are going to question the timing of this, and let me just say that this decision has been in the works for a while.
It's hard to imagine that this is something that's been in the works for some time. Nobody saw this coming.
From the minute she burst onto the national stage,
For Vice President of the United States.
many saw her as a fresh face for a party badly in need of a makeover. Sure, as Saturday Night Live reinforced time and again, Palin lacked seasoning and, some would say, a firm grasp of the issues. But many Republicans hoped that after a few more years in the governor's office, she'd be ready to give Obama a run for his money.
Sarah Palin continues to get great big crowds. She still gets the base of the Republican Party excited. The question is whether that will still be true after her announcement.
Sarah Palin from Alaska.
Recently, she tangled with comedian David Letterman, suggesting he had a perverse interest in her teenage daughter.
Sarah Palin really was the victim of an enormous amount of sexism, but she always sort of took it and seemed tougher for taking it. If she plays the victim, that won't work for her.
In her parting shot, the candidate, who proudly cast herself as a hockey mom, denounced what she called the superficial, wasteful political blood sport. But Palin gave no clear explanation for her sudden departure from the public stage.
I don't know if there's going to be another shoe to drop, but this one wasn't merely a shoe. It was a boot, and it landed with a thud.
It is difficult to ignore the timing of this announcement. Late on a Friday afternoon, on a holiday weekend, many Americans bound to be tuned out. That suggests that the reasons are not good ones. And many political observers inside and outside the Republican Party suspect this may not be the last word on Sarah Palin. Bill?
David Wright from the White House this morning, in front of the White House, and we're joined now for more insight by Vanity Fair magazine contributor Todd Purdom, who just this week published a lengthy piece detailing the battles inside the McCain-Palin campaign, the struggles she has faced since the end of that. Good morning, Todd. Thanks for joining us. Bill. So we'll ask you the question that's being asked from Juneau to Georgetown. What is she doing, you think?
I really don't know. The people who've watched her over the years did tell me when I was reporting my piece that the one predictable thing about her is unpredictability. And I think at some level, she's really sick of the whole thing. She was tired of the commute from Wasilla to Juneau. She was tired of the burdens of being governor. She was tired of the criticism she'd been facing at home and around the country. And perhaps this is just some attempt to hit the reset button.
And so do you think that precludes her from running in 2012?
I don't think it precludes her from running. I think it raises a lot of questions about any run, because if she walks away from the job she was hired to do and then asks to get a bigger job, it's not the best recommendation for coming to Washington.
In all your conversations, and you had many with current and former staffers on the campaign there, what was the biggest revelation for you in terms of her temperament, her judgment, her political strategy?
That at some level, she's never been what people in Washington would think of as a politician. She got into politics by a sort of accidental route, and she never was surrounded by the typical retinue of advisors and consultants, and she approaches the whole thing in a much more personal and idiosyncratic way than most politicians would. I think that in some ways it was borne out yesterday.
It seems, much more emotion than you would get from the cold, calculating political animal.
I do think that's true. I think there's a lot of gut. She's a gut player in many ways, and she just responds to stimuli that come across her.
And given your article, and not just the journalism take of her, but also David Letterman and the comedians as well, does she have a point that she got a tougher run from the media than others?
I think she got a tough scrutiny, but I think also the McCain campaign thrust her into the spotlight when she'd had virtually no preparation, and it was inevitable that it's a big stage and it's a big game, and I think life is rough all over.
Right. All right, Todd Purdom, we appreciate you getting up on a holiday. Happy Independence Day to you.
You too.
All right.